Hi everyone. Welcome to 101 Days of Summer Tag on Chapters with Sam. Thank you so much to Ridiculous for tagging me in this video. It's my first BookTube video tag and I'm really excited about it. I don't plan on doing a ton of tag videos, but I had to do my first, right? Thanks to the original creator of this tag, The Reading Room 1972. They made it full of fun summary questions that give me an excuse to talk about books and flowers, which are two of my favorite topics. So if you want to hear more about that, stick around and let's dive into the first question. If you could go to a barbecue to celebrate any author to announce their newest book, what would the book be? Who would the author be? And what would you bring, like if it's a potluck? If Brandon Sanderson invited me to a barbecue for the Nightblood release, I cannot explain how excited I would be, and I would bring my best summer recipe. I am waiting for Nightblood. It's if you don't know about Brandon Sanderson, he has this whole Cosmere and different series happen on different planets, but Nightblood is going to be a bridge between one planet and another. We don't know how this sword got from this planet to this other planet, and I can't wait to find out. I would bring the salsa. My sister-in-law introduced us to this delicious recipe that includes avocado, tomato, red onion, beans, corn, Italian dressing, and it is so good. If I have a picture of one I made in the past, I will absolutely put it up here. Anyway, it's delicious. And of course, Brandon Sanderson and his wife would rave about it and ask me for the recipe. Yeah. Oh, I would also have to bring, any of my leather bounds that are not currently signed by Brandon Sanderson so he could help me out there. All right, so that's question one. What is question two? What bookish destination would you visit on a summer road trip? This one's tough because honestly, most of my reads are fantasy reads, so I don't have like a real location that I could road trip to. Definitely not Roshar. I guess maybe I would want to take a road trip to some place that feels magical, even if it doesn't really exist in our world, at least that I've seen yet. And so I'd want to visit some place that feels magical, like a quiet cabin in the woods with hiking trails that feels like so far removed from everyone else. That's where I would want a road trip in the summer. Up into a mountain where it gets cool nights, but the days are still warm, and the magic would come from communing with nature. Absolutely. Do you enjoy camping, and how does it affect your reading? I haven't been on a camping trip in at least 20 years. Um, I've never been on one that has like an RV or a camper or anything like that. It's always just been a tent with a campfire. And I didn't get much reading done when I camped in my teenage years, but that was with a group of other teenage girls, and reading wasn't what we wanted to do. We were there to rock climb. It was awesome. But I think if I were to go, well, it depends on who I go with. If I go alone, I would probably be able to get a lot more reading done than usual. But if I go with my family or friends, then I probably won't because I'll be, talking to the people who are there with me. What literary character would you cosplay at a summer book festival? That would have to be Vin. Cosplaying isn't something I do on the regular. I do go to a Renaissance fair in the summer and I do sometimes dress up just in like, a modern version of a period gown. But if I were to pick a character to be at a summer book festival, I would absolutely cosplay as Vin from Mistborn, Brandon Sanderson. And she dresses like an urchin. So that's got to be comfortable in the summer, I would think. I could just put on like raggedy shorts and a t-shirt with holes in it, and then the mist cloak, which might add a little bit of weight on my shoulders, but probably wouldn't be too hot because it's just made of scraps of cloth. I think that would be super comfortable to go to a festival in. And I would also meet a lot of Sanderson fans because they would recognize it right away. Also, it's Vin. I just need to have a couple of vials of medals, looped into a belt someplace. Does anyone know of any summer book festivals? I've never heard of a book festival before. What's one small thing that means summer to you? Flowers. Flowers are absolutely the small thing that makes summer summer. And without flowers, summer does not work in my mind. I absolutely love flowers. Gardening, if you can't tell, is my other passion. I have shot every episode so far in my garden. I'm wondering what I'm going to do when the weather gets cold. But for now, this is great. It's my happiest place in the world. But summer wouldn't feel like summer without flowers. What author would you not want to be stuck with at a campfire? So, as I mentioned back in episode 1, I'm a big scaredy cat, and I am planning on trying to incorporate some horror and thrillers into my reading, but not in the dark in the woods around a campfire. I don't want it. No. So, I'd have to say that although I would love to meet the man, Stephen King will not be joining my camping trip, my fictional camping trips anytime soon. So for campfire tales that are more my speed, I'm gonna go with something like, no, you know what? Pajama Party. It's a board book that I read to my toddler when it was time to go to bed. That sounds like the perfect campfire book. Campfire book. Not that bad, but maybe I'm that bad. But Stephen King telling scary stories at a campfire sounds like a nightmare to me. He would scare me senseless. I probably wouldn't be able to sleep for a week, even once I got home. So, staying away from the horror for now, and we'll see what happens in the future. But I will not be reading Stephen King next to a campfire. Mm-mm. Do you enjoy reading romance in the summer? Okay, this is another genre that I haven't really delved into in a long time. So I actually have an episode coming up in August that will be a modern romance versus a classic romance, probably Pride and Prejudice. And I'm going to see if I like romances because right now I don't know. I know nothing about modern romance or even really classic romances. So if you have romance suggestions, please leave them below. I'm really interested to see if this is a genre that I'm going to enjoy. Just make sure it's not too spicy. Too much spice doesn't really hit it right for me. What book gives you nostalgic summer feelings? I don't really have one. Like I don't have a books that I read based on the season. So I don't really have one that gives me nostalgic summer feelings. One that reminds me of summer, if I have to like think back really hard, I can find one. It's a young adult novel by Christopher Pike about Greek goddesses living as mortals. It takes place in Greece and it definitely gives me summer vibes. So if I had to pick one, that's what I'd pick. But I don't even remember the name of it. It's just this Christopher Pike novel I read when I was, a teenager. All right, if you made it to the end, a big thank you. Please like and subscribe. It helps the channel out a lot. Anyone who feels like they want to answer this tag, I'd love to see your answers either in the comments or if you do your own video. Have a great summer, everyone. And don't forget to give me romance recommendations. Thanks. I'll see you in the next one.